Now as we descend in Aruba on the wreck of the Antilles, first thing that we notice is all the beautiful corals. Now this ship has been down there since 1945. This was a German freighter, and it was scuttled at that time when the Germans invaded Holland. As you know, Aruba is a Dutch possession. All the beautiful fish, the yellowtails, the angelfish that you're going to see coming up, and this massive ship. It's over 400 feet long. Just a beautiful sight. Crystal clear waters. And as we look around, we're just amazed with the growth that's taking place on the ship. Now that ship was down there, as I said, since 1945, so it's been down there for about 55 years. It's quite a sight to see. And every place you look, there's beautiful colors. Here's a queen angelfish. Now the Antilles was a German freighter that was sitting out here in Aruba. And what happened one day is the captain woke up to find himself surrounded by the Aruban Navy. The Aruban Navy was very, very small, but nonetheless, they, I guess, had the drop on them. They convinced them that they were going to seize the ship, so the captain sent down the orders to put the boilers on full steam. They did that, and the captain asked them if he could go down, gather a few belongings, and then he would go with them peacefully. Well, instead of doing that, what he did was go down and open some of the compartments so that the cold water would flood in. When enough cold water had flooded in, it hit the boilers exploded and sent the Antilles to the bottom, where it's been sitting ever since. This was a brand new ship when it went down, so it was in absolute pristine condition at that time. And as you can see by looking around, it's in pretty good condition to this day. Eduardo, our dive master, is taking people all over the ship, showing them different holds, different places that they can go inside. You see some of the blast holes right here in the side of the ship. The sea takes its toll also, as the blast holes become larger. The crustaceans that are growing all over the place, the corals, the whips, and all the beautiful life that's all over the ship. It's just a joy to see. Now this ship sits in about 60 feet of water, so it's very safe to dive. And it's so large that you can penetrate some of these things and go in and go out. So it's pretty safe to do, particularly when you're being escorted by somebody like Eduardo, who knows the ship backwards and forwards. One of our divers is just sitting here by this plate, just looking at the things that are growing on there. It's an amazing sight. Now the water visibility there at this particular point in the dive was probably 70, 80 feet. But the ship is 400 feet long. So there's no way you can get a true perspective on the ship from any one particular angle, because at the maximum you're only seeing 1/4 of the ship. But as you see in looking around, life is every place. Corals that are laying on the side here, beautiful fish just across the coral right there. This was some kind of a hold. I'm not sure exactly what it was. The divers kept swimming in it and swimming out of it. It was kind of neat. Eduardo is motioning for all the divers to come with him. He wants to take him other places on the ship here. You're just surprised as you're diving along as you're looking and you see the beautiful corals, the red corals, the brown corals. There's even some white corals. A little bit later here you're going to see some fantail anemones, some feather anemones. And they're just beautiful. There's Eduardo. And here we are with some of this brain coral and other kinds of corals that are around there. We're coming right over the ledge here. And here come our divers following Eduardo. Now, if you're going to do wreck diving, probably the best thing that you should do is take a wreck diving course. They'll teach you how to penetrate a ship, how to do everything safely. This ship, because we have an expert guide with us, is a little bit safe. Plus, it's a very, very large ship. And the holds that you can go into, you can see a clear passage out. That's a pretty safe thing to do. And as we conclude this part of our show, we'll be right back on the Antilles.